वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् शृण्वतां स्वकलः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्थस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सूत्रताम् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवद्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, verse 37 and 38. Imam tvam aditistasva purim navamukhim vibho mayopanaitan grahanaha kamabhogan satam samaha. Synonyms. Imam, this, tvam, your good self. Aditistava, just remain, Purim in the city, Navamukhim, with 9 gates, Vibho, O my Lord, Maya, by me. Upanitan, arranged, Grinaha, taking, Kama Bhogan, the materials for sense gratification, Satam, 100, Samaha, years. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. My dear Lord, I have just arranged this city of 9 gates for you, so that you can have all kinds of sense gratification. You may live here for 100 years, and everything for your sense gratification will be supplied. Purport: Dharma, Dharmartha Kama Mokshanam Dhara Samprapti Hetavaha. The wife is cause of all kinds of success in religion, economic development, sense gratification, ultimately salvation. When one accepts a wife, it is to be understood that he is being helped in his progressive march towards liberation. In the beginning of life, a person is trained as a brahmachari and is then allowed to marry a suitable girl and become a householder. If one is thoroughly trained in household life, he finds all facilities for human life: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Everything is there if it is executed according to relative principles. Text 38. Kamnu Twadanyam Ramage here he aratignam akovidam asamparaya vimokam asvantana vidampasum. Come unto whom? No, then, Tvat, than you, Anyam, other. Ramaye, I shall allow you enjoy. He externally, ardignam, without the knowledge of sex enjoyment, akovidam, therefore, almost foolish. Asamparaya, Asamparaya, without knowledge of the next life. Avimukam, looking forward. Asvatanavidam, one who does not know what is happening next. Pasum, like animals. How can I expect to unite with others who are neither conversant about sex nor capable of knowing how to enjoy life while living or after death? Such foolish persons are like animals because they do not know the process of sense enjoyment in his life and after death. Purport. Since there are 8.4 million species of life, there are also many different living conditions. In the lower grades of life, in plant and tree life, there is no system for sexual intercourse. In the upper grades, in the life of birds and beasts, there is sex. But insect and animals do not know how to actually enjoy the sex life. In the human form of life, however, there is full knowledge of how to enjoy sex. Indeed, there are so many called philosophers who give directions on how to enjoy sex life. There is even a science called Kama Shastra, which is the science of sex. In the human life, there are also such divisions as the Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. There is no sex life except in the Grahastha or householder ashrama. The Brahmacharya is not allowed any, and a Vanaprastha voluntarily refrains from having sex. The Sannyasi completely renounced. The karmis do not practice Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha, or Sannyasa life, but they are very much interested in Grahastha life. In other words, a human being is very much materially inclined. Indeed, all living entities are materially inclined. They prefer grahastha life because there is a concession for sex. The Kalmi think the other status of life are worse than animal life. For animals also have sex, whereas the Brahmachari Vanaprastha Sannyasi completely give up the sex. The karma is therefore about this order of spiritual life. Namamo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashade Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I would like to seek blessing from all the assembled Vaishnavas and thank you for giving me an opportunity to purify myself. Please forgive me for any shortcomings or adding my own interpretation. I'm trying to summarize the purport here of placing two lectures from couple of senior ISKCON devotees, and I'm trying to make it very short and crisp. Srimad Bhagavatam has been attributed as an incarnation of Supreme Person of Godhead in the form of literature. Therefore, when a person reads Srimad Bhagavatam, they execute service to God. A person who is yet to receive the gift of faith in the God would immensely benefit by performing this service and further develop faith in the Almighty. As we see in the Sloka 37, we talk about the nine gates. And as I was listening to the purport, I was able to start with a Sloka from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5 and Sloka 13. Now, what is this here is the body is compared to a city and a metaphor is developed in great detail. We will not analyze that metaphor here in depth, but we'll focus on one important point mentioned in this verse, which is about the nine gates. In the past, there were cities that functioned like forts or contained great treasures and valuables, which needed protection. However, those cities have strong barricades. Sometimes they were built on top of mountains with walls surrounding them, which make it very difficult. There were specific entry points, while the surrounding areas might be dense forest or otherwise difficult to pass through. The easiest way and a convenient way is to enter through gates, each of which was often heavily guarded in some cases. A toll was collected, either allowed or denied entry on certain conditions. Here, the metaphor of a body as a city with nine gates conveys that things enter and leave the body through these openings. The soul's interaction with the world via the body takes place largely through these gates. We are drawn to sense objects through them. We see something beautiful, taste something delicious, hear something melodious, smell something fragrant, or touch something soft. In all these ways, information and experience from the outside world enter the city of the body and reach us. It is primarily through the senses that such interaction occurs. Again, in the city of nine gates, the soul resides as a tenant, not as the owner. Just as a tenant can be evicted when the landlord decides not to renew the lease, we too must vacate the body when the landlord, the super soul, so decides. Although the super soul has not been explicitly mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita until now, the concept is well established in yoga. Here is talking about the chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita. The Patanjali Yoga Shastras speak of Ishvara Pranidhana, acknowledging Ishvara is situated in the heart. That Ishvara, which is the super soul, is the true landlord, and the soul must leave the body at some time, at some unknown time in the future. Just as sensory information enters through the body gates, the soul departures also take place through one of them. According to the Upanishads, if the soul is destined for higher destination, having performed good karma and elevated its consciousness, it departs through one of the upper gates of the body. On the other hand, if the soul has not performed good karma, it departs through the lower openings, which is considered inauspicious. Thus, the body gates serve both as an entry point for experiences and as exits for the soul when it leaves. Krishna says that by renouncing action, one will be able to remain happy, Sukamvasi, because one becomes aware of spiritual nature. To the extent we become attached to the worldly things, to the extent we are unable to think of higher spiritual reality. And to the extent we cannot think of higher spiritual reality, to that extent we remain disconnected from true happiness. Continuing to crave worldly sensations that never truly satisfy. Let's hear one more topic about the sense gratification, taken from the discourse given by Srila Prabhupada ji. In every field of action, we have to follow certain do's and do nots. Tatpara Samyatendriyaha. The result of knowledge is that one should be restrained in the matter of sense gratification. We must become progressive in spiritual life if one indulges in unrestricted sense gratification because sense gratification is the cause of our bondage in the material world. Regulated sense gratification leads to liberated happiness, whereas unrestricted sense gratification leads to suffering and despair. The whole treatment of progressing in spiritual life is regulated. Of course, we have got senses and the sense requires some satisfaction. That's all right. Therefore, we have to purify our senses by engaging them under regulation in the service of the Lord. Again, looking at as we're talking about the senses, uh, I got stuck with another sloka from Bhagavad Gita. Indriyani मनोबुद्धिर असाधिष्ठानम उच्यते एतैर् विमोहयति येषा ज्ञानम avratya dehinam. The senses, the mind, and intelligence are sitting places of this lust. Therefore, the lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders them. Let's look at while the speaker was speaking, he brought up a good example of the marriage between Devhuti and Kardama Muni. Now, Vidura inquired about the dynasty of Swayambhu Manu, which we discussed in Canto 3, who progeny multiplied and expanded the entities within the universe. Swayambhu Manu had two sons, Priyavrata and Uttanapada, and three daughters, Akuti, Devahuti, and Prasuti. Maitreya Rishi began by describing the life of Devahuti. When Kadama Muni was ordered by Brahma to beget children, he performed 10,000 years of penance, preparing himself for successful execution of this important task, which would begin with finding a suitable wife. Pleased with the sage universe, the Lord confirmed, that Swayambhu Manu and Satarpura would be uh, Satarupa would offer their daughter Devhuti in marriage. Kardamamuni and Devhuti would then have nine daughters, after which the Lord personally appeared as their son and impart well-like instructions in devotional service. Well, events began to transfer as predicted. When Swayambhu Manu and his wife reached his hermitage, Kardamamuni heartily welcomed them. They expressed great respect and appreciation for each other, demonstrating the respectful nature of Varnashrama. Swayambhu Manu described his daughter attraction to the sage and offered her hand in marriage. Kadamamuni glorified devotees' good qualities and agreed to marriage proposal on a condition that after bearing a child in her womb, he would be permitted to renounce the family life. Statement was made and the marriage thus took place. After marriage, Devati served her husband very faithfully, undoing such severe austerities that she became weak and emaciated. Seeing her remarkable chastity and devotion, Kadamuni prepared for their union as per her desire. By dint of his yogic power, he arranged an incredible aerial mansion, unparalleled opulence, and completed restoration of Devati's body. They enjoyed celestial pleasure for many years though the sage remained completely detached. Kadamuni then divided himself into nine forms and begot nine children in Devahuti. Being overly excited, she gave birth to nine females. As her husband prepared to leave home, Devahuti felt pained. Her first lamentation was that she didn't take spiritual advantage of sage association. And furthermore, she desired a son who would protect her. Kadamuni reassuringly explained that Supreme Lord would soon enter her home. In the future, the son would bless her with enlightening wisdom. After many years of multitude and auspicious signs, confirmed that Supreme Lord Kapila Muni had indeed appeared in devotee's womb. After his appearance, Brahma immediately came there to worship the Lord. The universal engineer praised Kardama Muni's unflinching adherence to his instructions and guided the sage offer his nine daughters to nine principal sages. Brahma also predicted that Kapila Muni would impart invaluable instructions in detachment, devotion, and Sankhya philosophy. After Brahma left, Karamuni discreetly approached his son and offered prayers of surrender. He requested permission to renounce family life and live as a mendicant. After receiving the go-ahead, Karamuni entered the forest, fixed his mind on the Supreme Lord, and thus went back to Godhead. I also got stuck with two different verses from again Srimad Bhagavatam, which talks about the sense gratification and also the absolute truth. Life desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation, since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's work. Again, we see Words, mind, and ego, with their respective controlling demigods, have failed to achieve success in knowing the supreme person of Godhead. Therefore, we simply have to offer our obeisances unto him as a matter of sanity. Again, this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, whatever explaining was about sense gratification, which is mentioned in text 37, I'll quickly give a glimpse of text 38 and I'll conclude my purport. According to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, also, a husband and wife turn the home into a place as good as Vaikuntha, even while in this material world. Being absorbed in Krishna consciousness, even in this world, husband and wife can live in Vaikuntha simply by installing the deity of Lord within the home and serving the deity according to the directions of the Shastras. In this way, they will never feel the sex urge. There is a test of advancement in devotional service. One who is advanced in devotional service is never attracted by sex life, and as long as one becomes detached from sex life and proportionately attached to the service of the Lord, he actually experiences living in the Vaikuntha planets. In the ultimate issue, there is actually no material world. But when one forgets the service of the Lord and engages himself in the service of his senses, he is said to be living in the material world. And we all know this example, which we already read, about Srila Haridasa Thakura, who used to chant the holy name of the Lord about 300,000 times every day. Looking at this, one of the king was very envious, and then he thought he would try to disturb Srila Haridasa Thakura. He sent a prostitute. Now, Srila Haridasa was still chanting, and this lady was staying, waiting for days together for him to come and enjoy the sex pleasure. What happened at the end? This lady, the prostitute, turned out to be a devotee, and then again she started, chanting the name of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now that is the effect of the chanting of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we, everyone in this material world, we need to chant this Maha Mantra and get connected to our Super Soul. I'm going to stop here. Please forgive me if I added my own